All right, everyone. So we are back with another video, and this time I'm going to be discussing what I think to be the best hero loadouts that you can use in ventures. Some of these loadouts I actually use even when I'm playing, and I just keep in my standard loadout. And then there's a couple others that I just use specifically in ventures that I really enjoy. So I'll mention those and point those out as we go along, and just kind of show you what I use, what I do, and see if it helps you. So the first loadout is a loadout that I use all the time. Like, I keep it slotted. It's in my number one hero slot, and this is just where I have it. It's Paleo Luna. You cannot go wrong. She is arguably the best melee attacker in the game. So I keep this loadout, and I do use this loadout, but not early on in ventures. This is more of a late ventures after you've gotten your weapons and you've got plenty of materials and you've got a good sword you can use, because this is a melee build. This is when you'll want to use her in ventures. So late game ventures, this is going to be beneficial. So Paleo Luna in the lead does the additional 9%. The Blast from the Past, which is crucial to this because it takes that shield away, increases your max health by 200%, and then that 9% on top of the additional health is just massive. Saurian Hide is what I like to use because of the shield, and Saurian Focus as well, so that way I can use any other additional heavy attacks, anything like that. It just continues to increase my energy. I use Monster Smash in this loadout as well because the melee attacks will give me health while I'm attacking. So this helps my durability as far as my health and stuff mixed in with the Saurian Hide. I also like Battle Beat because eliminating 10 enemies within 9 seconds is going to grant the Rock and Riff, which increases your damage by 50% and melee attack speed by 32%. So if you've got a large horde and you are hitting them, you're getting an additional 50% damage and 32% attack speed on top of an already insane attack speed if you've got a good weapon. And yeah, so you're gonna just destroy things. And then I like to run Legendary Blade, which during the Shadow Stance increases sword damage by 25%, because I tend to favor swords. So that's why I run this. And this is one that you can swap out if you'd like for something else that may better suit you, but this is the way I run it, and it works really well for me, especially in the main game with my Storm King's Ravager, with the attack speed, the triple attack speed, plus the additional attack speed from Battle Beat, and all the damage you're getting with melee and sword is absolutely insane. So yeah, this is my probably one of my go-tos. The next build that I really like to use, and I use early on in ventures, is my Infinite Teddy build. The way that this works is basically, when used properly, will allow you to keep spamming teddies. So this is great. By the time one teddy runs out, you can drop another, and you just keep a teddy down at all times, which early on in ventures is OP. I mean, it just annihilates everything. You can solo run missions, no problem, and you're just gonna wreck everything. So what I use is Jingle Jess in the lead, which decreases or increases Teddy's duration by 12 seconds. This is what helps overlap the time and decrease the amount of downtime, so that way you are having Teddy up at all times. So keep this for increasing. I run Happy Holidays, which is going to reduce ability cooldown. Teddy is an ability, so this will decrease that cooldown by 40%. Overbearing is going to increase Teddy's range, so you can shoot enemies further, and they'll take more damage based on the distance, up to 40% at max range. So the further they are away, the more damage they are getting dealt by Teddy. Jilly Teacup for the under warranty. Teddy will have a 100% crit chance against new targets, which is awesome. So it's going to crit every time it hits an enemy for the first time. And it also has a 5% chance to malfunction, which will cause Teddy to find a new target after every shot. If your Teddy malfunctions and you have this loadout, you will be destroying things because it's going to 100% crit every shot. during its malfunction. So that's awesome. Fragment generation is going to help with eliminating 39 eliminations. You'll gain a charge fragment. Charge fragments will allow you to use your ability without costing you energy. It will also decrease the amount of time that you have to wait for the ability. So this is important, and this is a huge part of this build, because this is what will allow you to help decrease that time. So you get those eliminations and you're going to get the charge fragments. Berserker is increasing Teddy damage by 30%, and then pressing charges increases damage of your fragment abilities by 30%. So when you use an ability with the fragments on it, the charge fragments, it's going to increase that damage by 30%. So you mix the fragment generation in with the pressing charges, and you're getting additional damage from Teddy, and he just destroys. This is great early game build. You can solo, you can get through everything, go loot up, find weapons and ventures and all that stuff without having to worry about being underpowered. So this is one I usually start ventures with. Allows me to gain material and everything and just annihilate. So this is another one of those builds that I use all the time. It never changes. I just keep it the way it is. And that's Ice King. Ice King is a great, build to have, period. But the way you would use this in ventures is as a support for your team if you're running in a team, or you can use it to like stall or slow enemies if you're solo. This is a good one to use. You can basically use it at any time in ventures. If you use it early on, it's going to be really OP just because the enemies are going to sit there, they're going to hit, you have high level walls, and they're not going to do anything. They're just going to freeze every, so many seconds. What is it? Every 4 seconds or whatever, or every 15 seconds they'll freeze for 4. So it's just, I wouldn't use this early game. I would more or less use a build like this late game, mid to late game for ventures. But I did want to mention it because it's just such a strong build. So it's Ice King in the lead, which what he does. He freezes enemies, with that are affected by base. If they hit anything, basically they're going to freeze for 4 seconds. And that will happen once every 15 seconds. Supercharged traps. This just increases the trap damage of any traps that are affected by base, and this is where more of the killing comes in to play. If you use this for ventures, you can place wall darts on low level ventures and it's just going to destroy everything. So yeah, you can use that. Mega base to increase the connectivity of your base. That's just going to make all of that we just mentioned even better and reach out by one more tile. Lofty architecture, which is going to increase the building health by 28%. Power base knocks with power modulation to heal the buildings, for 4% of their max health every 10 seconds, which is huge. Faster explosions is what I use here because most of the time as a constructor, you're kind of just standing on your build using a pot shot or something else. I don't really change this even in ventures because you can find launchers in ventures. So I tend to like the explosives anyway. So I go after the explosive weapons and I still use this even in ventures. So you can swap this out if you don't use a lot of explosives or if you're running out of blast powder or ammo or anything like that, then you could swap this out to something else, but this is what I keep it at and what I use. And then tough traps, Machinist Harper to increase trap durability by 17.5%, which just allows those traps to, stay a little bit longer and, make sure they do their thing. All right, another build that I really like to use, which you can use anytime. You can use this in ventures. You can use this in main game. You can use it at any level in ventures. Is Stoneheart Farrah. Farrah is she's one of the best heroes in all of Save the World. So, she's just insane. So I use this all the time. It's great for crowd clearing. It's great for standing on a base and just shooting. It's just a well-rounded build. She is a well-rounded character. So there's not much else I can say about her. Her ability is on a bow hit, it splinters dealing 60% of damage to 5 nearby targets. So the first target you hit is going to deal the 100%, and then the other 5 targets are getting hit for 60% of that first hit's damage. So this is just a great AoE build, and something that will actually just wreck. Totally Rocking Out is what you want to use here if you have this, so that way you can increase your crit rating, and you're going to heal based on your base health, while you're hitting and destroying and all of that good stuff. So it's just increasing your health. You're going to need to use, I prefer using Battle Beat because eliminating 10 enemies in 9 seconds grants Rockin' Riff, and that increases your damage and your melee attack speed. We're not really focused on the melee here, but more the increased damage by 50%. And I prefer Breakbeat Wildcat. You have to have her or, someone else from the rad hero, event, so that way it will activate Totally Rocking Out. But I would not sleep on this. This is the one you want to go to. Don't just, definitely use Breakbeat Wildcat. She's awesome. The other one that I'm using here too, I'll just go ahead and mention her since we're talking about the Totally Rocking Out, is Mainstage Quinn. This is the sub wafers. So one thing you can do with this is go around, harvest some metal, get a chance to find those sub wafers. They now are in your 4th slot, so that's amazing. It's not going to take any one of your slots, your weapon slots, and use that to eat the sub wafers to activate the Totally Rocking Out. I will tell you that this will not be used during hordes of Husk. You're not going to need it because Battle Beat is going to activate your Rockin' Riff, and you're going to almost stay activated with Rockin' Riff if you're running like an RTL, the Ride the Lightning, or an Evacuate the Shelter, anything like that requires that, that push of hordes. You're not going to need Mainstage Quinn. This is just going to be for just going around the map looking for things, and you come across an enemy or a smasher or something like that, and you just want to eat that wafer to get the additional damage, whatever. So those two is what are the two that I have to activate the Totally Rocking Out. And then I have Skull Trooper Ramirez for the Locked and Reloaded. So with bows, every shot is a reload. After every shot is going to be a reload. So this increases weapon damage by 15% for 5 seconds. So basically, as long as you're shooting your bow, you're increasing your damage by 15%. So super, super powerful. Definitely a good perk to have. I also use Rabbit Raider Jonesy, which increases the sniper critical damage by 75%. He is currently in the shop right now, so if you haven't gotten him, you definitely need to get him. He's going to be great and very essential for this build and making sure that you do some additional damage. And then I like to use Sub-Zena the Zero for the icy shot. A lot of people use Redline Ramirez, which is great as well. I just don't have her. If I had her, I honestly would probably use her over Sub-Zena the Zero. Redline Ramirez increases sniper damage by 17% or something like that. So she's definitely good to use. I just don't have her, so I'm just going to stick with this. Sub-Zena Zero, he will sniper critical hits, will apply water affliction, dealing 21 base water damage per second. So this is definitely good against Fire Husk. This is the build that I really enjoy using for Stoneheart Farrah, and this will be a good all-around build for you to have in your arsenal anyway. All right, last but definitely, most definitely not least, is my Dragon Scorch build. I love this build. This is probably one of the most fun builds that I use, that I really, really, really enjoy. I think Dragon Slash is probably the best ability in the game. It does so much damage, and when you run it right with a good loadout, you just annihilate things. So I absolutely love this build. You need this. You can use this at all levels of ventures. You can use this in main game. It's just such a good build. But I have Dragon Scorch in the lead, which increases Dragon Slash range to 3 tiles. 3 tiles long and 2 tiles wide. and the damage by 25%. So there is a huge radius around you. I mean, 2 tiles, that's quite a bit of husk that you can fit in 2 tiles. So this is going to go 3 tiles long, 2 tiles wide, and an additional 25% on top of the already crazy damage that a Dragon Slash does. This is definitely a great build. Use Happy Holidays to reduce that cooldown, so that way you can run the Dragon Slash very often. This build that I currently am showing you right now will leave you with only a 6-second cooldown of Dragon Slash. That's insane. You almost can infinite Dragon Slash. So this is awesome. So run that Happy Holidays to decrease the time. I like to run Chaos Agent for the quick fingers. So in between that 6 seconds, I'll pull out a weapon, like an explosive weapon or something like that, and use that while I'm, using the Dragon Slash. I'll shoot a few explosive shots. Then when it's ready for reload, I Dragon Slash. Then I shoot a couple more explosive shots, and then I Dragon Slash, and just repeat that whole cycle, and it just destroys everything. So you talk about destroy the encampment missions, this is the way to go to wreck everything. Then Tail of the Dragon, this is going to when you Dragon Slash, it leaves behind an energized trail that deals 26 base energy damage per second. So the longer these enemies are standing within this trail that is left, they're taking additional damage. It's just damage on top of damage on top of damage. Then Fuel for the Fallen, eliminations restore 6 energy over 3 seconds. So you're going to be killing things quickly. This is just another way to continue to make sure that while you're in the middle of everything and you're Dragon Slashing, that you are regenerating some health, because you are going to be really close to the enemies. Battle Beat, of course, you got to use Breakbeat Wildcat. She's absolutely amazing. Eliminating 10 enemies in 9 seconds will grant the Rock and Riff, increasing the damage by 50% and melee attack speed by 32%. The melee attack speed you can use with this. Obviously, Dragon Scorch is a ninja and does good with melee, but I just don't use it that way that often. I have used it that way, but most of the time it's just with this build, it's just Dragon Slash after Dragon Slash after Dragon Slash. So, yeah, you can use melee if you want. And then Return of the Dragon, this decreases the Dragon Slash energy cost by 30%, so it doesn't cost as much energy, which will allow you to Dragon Slash more often. The reason why it allows you to do that more often is because if you had the 6-second cooldown, but you didn't have the energy to use it, then you would still be waiting additional time. This ensures that you don't have to wait that additional time. By the time your 6 seconds is up of wait time, you have regenerated all of your energy, so you are able to just continually Dragon Slash every 6 seconds. It's insane. This is probably my favorite build to use in Ventures. I have so much fun with it. If I have a good team that has, a constructor, they're running an Ice King build, and I've got someone else who's got a base Kyle and someone else who's running an Outlander or something, I will definitely default to this because it's so fun to use. So you've got to have this one. This will help you a ton. All right, everyone, so that is it with the hero loadouts. I hope that you learned something here. I did not show any gameplay with these because it does take a lot of extra time. I work a full-time job, as well as get some stream time in, take time for my family and things like that. So I try to make these videos as informative as possible, but as quick as possible as well. If you would like to see any of these in action, please feel free at any time to stop by my stream and just say, hey, can you show me, such and such build? Hey, can you show me how this works? And I'll show you live while I'm playing right there, answer any questions you have and all of that stuff. So if you want to see any of these in action, just like I said, stop on by Twitch, let me know, or, just send me a message, comment down below or something, and maybe I can send you a video or add something into my Discord. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how these hero loadouts work for you. And if you found this video helpful, leave any comments below of anything else you would like to see. And, best of luck to you in your venture season. We are doing venture carries on stream once a week. I will be helping people. I'm giving currently giving priority to the VIPs, which are people that are subscribed on Twitch. And then after that, we will be opening it up to everyone. So if you guys haven't done so already, join the Discord. Link is down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.